One thing that always happens when Supercars comes to New Zealand is the Kiwi drivers step up. And again, we saw it on the weekend. Yeah. All the Kiwis stood up and they
Andre
always
was in there.
Always get a result in New Zealand. I don't know what it is with you guys. You just rise to the occasion. We'll bring back to you, mate, because you did that at Pukekohe. You were so dominant at Pukekohe.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah. What's the special sauce you guys take?
I don't know, eh? Everyone thought that I used to live there and used to ride my bike around there after school and stuff. I didn't race there. I didn't drive there until in Formula Ford, 1990 was the first time I drove there and stuff. I mean, what's not to love about that track? Yeah. But 96, you guys, you probably don't know if you remember it or have referenced it or not. But so we went there in 1996, right? 12 Group A cars. After Bathurst, Mobil basically put on the Mobil Sprint Series in 96. So 12 cars got shipped to New Zealand. So the season had all finished. So it was November. Mm-hmm. And 2 DJR cars, 2 Stone Brothers cars, 2 Perkins cars, the 2 Coke cars, our 2 cars, Glenn Seaton, and one other, I think. So there was 12. And we did a sprint format in New Zealand at Pukekohe. So it was 3 sprint races on the Sunday. It was just our normal V8 championship or Group A championship format, and then the last ever Wellington Street race happened the following weekend. So it was 2 weeks. I was Brock was my teammate, and so we did the race at Pukekohe, and I won all those races that weekend from pole. And then we went to Wellington the following week. It was the last ever Wellington Street race. So, I mean, this is in the 90s. There hadn't been a Wellington Street race for ages, and then someone went, "Hey, let's do this," and it all just got put together. Can you imagine trying to do that today? It was just bizarre. It was so good.
Even the OH&S would just be like, "No, we need
mate,
12 months of
if you watch video
this.
of it, there's people standing in car park buildings like there's no railings, no nothing, just hanging over the edges. There's around the waterfront in Wellington. There's a park in the middle with a structure. People are sitting, dangling their legs over the concrete structures over the track.
It's not that long ago. Like 96 is not. Yeah,
it was nuts, absolutely nuts. And so that was my first solo effort. It had been a big year that year. 96, Lowndes had won the championship, and then we won Sandown and Bathurst, and then they went, and he's off to Europe to race 3000. So we went to New Zealand. I got to drive that car, and teammates with Brock, and that's when I actually did my deal for 1997. John Crennan.
Yeah, I remember Creno.
Up to the, on Saturday or Friday in the hotel, and he's presented me with a contract, to be the driver for 1997 alongside Brock, replace Lowndes.
How old were you at that point?
So what were we, 96? I was 24.
Like that moment must have been wild to go into that team. Like you've stepped into the best team. Brock's your teammate.
It was insane. Like he was my idol.
Yeah.
I idolised the man back in through the 80s and all that kind of stuff. And then so we and no manager, no one.
Yeah.
Here's a piece of paper. Here's a contract. He's presented it to me. I'm 24 years old. There's no one.
Even ready.
Did you just look down for the figure as well and be like, yeah, cool.
Pretty much.
T's and C's don't really matter. I'm driving a race car. I'm getting paid.
I'm pretty sure I went, because I think it was 65 grand.
Yeah.
And I think I got
Kiwi or Aussie?
Aussie, and I think I felt pretty good because I think I got him to 75.
Oh, beautiful!
Yeah. And
hard negotiation. Didn't realise all the T's and C's.
And you just beat Brock.
Yeah,
that weekend too.
Yeah. So that was that, and then so that was the first. That was the first thing in New Zealand, and that was a moment. It was like these. Yeah, it was insane. So I won the last race of that week of that race meeting at Wellington.
Yep.
It is nutso. Like there's just thousands of people everywhere. Brock had this massive shunt there, like wrote the car off and stuff on the Sunday because it was just a 2-day format kind of thing. And but it just went crazy. Did a big burnout and stuff and bits and pieces. It was mega, and it was this moment where it just transported me in New Zealand sport into this because we'd won Bathurst as well, and it was crazy, absolutely crazy. So then, things obviously went through the next few years, and then we turned up in 2001 as part of the championship, first time championship, and it was, I've won Bathurst, and you now know what that feels like.
Me? No, I don't.
Oh, no, you don't.
He's second.
Who won last year?
He's second heap of times.
Yeah.
He was third last year.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up. Yeah, I haven't won it yet, mate.
You don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I need. Mate. Never will.
Shit. I should remember that. Who won it last year?
So we're talking about line and
Who
stats.
won last year?
Brody.
Yeah.
Of course he did.
Brody won it, and Todd Hazelwood, of course.
Yeah, Brody and
you won
Todd.
Sandown.
I came
You won
Sandown.
Yeah.
Well, you started to doubt that too, then, didn't you? Fuck, has this bloke won anything? He's thinking. He's sure he's won something.
And so then we
it must change your life.
You go. It does, but you go. I went to New Zealand, but it does change it. It was just incredible. But winning in New Zealand at Pukekohe in front of all those people was like maybe bigger in some respects. Yeah, because it was just insane. I mean, Shane knows what it feels like. Scott knows what it feels like.
Matty now.
And Matt knows what it feels like. But Pookie was also a little bit different.
I was going to say that the Pookie, would have been a bigger vibe, I would have thought, than...
It's that front straight. That front straight, everything about it felt... Like one of the coolest memories I have, and I'm not a Kiwi, but in my career, a memory that I have is standing on the front straight. The last race we did there, they parked us on the front straight and they let us just stand facing the crowd, and we chatted to some kids on the fence and people are cheering, and they had the podium. It was a bit of a rub in your face moment too. The podium was right next to us.
Yep.
But it was such a special feeling to have, like, the fans here are so knowledgeable and authentic. Like, they'll get photos with the engineers. Like Richard Holway will get photos because
they know who he is.
They know he engineered some of the greats. And Robbie Starr, another one. He walks out the back of the garage, and the motorsport enthusiasts here are so knowledgeable. They know who Robbie Starr is, when he was number one, when he was race engineer. And I don't even know if back home there's a track that has that sort of feeling to it.
Is that because it's taken for granted?
But I didn't get that vibe at Taupo, you're right. Like that's where I say, I go to Pookie and I feel like the garages felt accessible and smaller and closer. Like they really have a separation now at Taupo to the sports where I was.
Yeah,
to the back of the supercar paddock, can't see it. It just didn't feel... Pookie was just special.
I mean, I remember, when standing up on the hill, when they stopped up on the hill there, Shane had
when he won that day, yeah.
And I actually got to do the interview. My God, like the tingles down the spine. Like it was something. And so, I mean, he was feeling it, and you know him better than anybody, and the emotion around it.
Yeah. Well, he said he went home that night and just sat in his downstairs lounge and just rocked. Just so that's
rocked in the fetal position.
The coolest moment